Welcome back, everybody. I normally don't do trailer breakdowns, but given the story around Andy Muschietti's Flash movie, I felt that this might be worthy of a breakdown. In order to break down this trailer and enjoy the parts of it that I really did, I kind of had to separate the project from its lead actor. The TikToker Straw Hat Goofy brought up a great point that this film is bigger than the lead actor. It's the director, Andy Muschietti, the writers, Christina Hodgson and Jared Harold. It's also Sasha Calle, Ben Affleck, Ron Livingston, Michael Shannon, and of course, Michael Keaton. But more on him later. Now, is this a justification for me wanting to see the Flash movie? Maybe. But as far as justifications go, it's a pretty good one. A number of months ago, Andy Muschietti insisted the Flash movie was not going to be Flashpoint Paradox. Well, it's pretty much Flashpoint Paradox, or at least there is a heavy inspiration from the comic. I'd like to examine some of the differences and some of the similarities. For those who are not familiar with the comic, basically Barry Allen gets a wild hair up his butt and decides to save his mom by altering the past. Due to Barry's change in the timeline, a butterfly effect occurs, and the future he's used to is turned completely upside down. Cyborg is the biggest and most trusted superhero on the planet. Superman's ship does not land in Kansas, and he's never found by the Kents. Instead, he crashes in a populated area and is taken by the government. Now, the Flash does find Superman, but he's been kept as a science experiment by the government and is a shell of who he could have been. Aquaman's Atlantis has declared war on Wonder Woman's Themyscira, and their battle is destroying the planet. The Flash tries to find the smartest man he knows and discovers that the Batman that he's come to know doesn't even exist. Instead, the Dark Knight mantle is occupied by Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas, after Bruce is gunned down in Crime Alley, while Thomas and Martha were helpless to stop. Not only did this change who Batman was, it also changed what Batman was. Thomas Wayne was rage and pain, and even though he lacked the lifelong training that Bruce Wayne had, Thomas made up for it by sheer brutality and viciousness. Also, Martha Wayne survived, but losing her son the way she did breaks her, and she becomes the Joker. I know, it sounds kind of far-fetched, but it's actually great. She trolls Thomas constantly, and she knows that he's not going to kill her because, they're still married, I think. I don't think they got a divorce. Huh, that's weird. Anyway, also the Reverse Flash is involved and creates his own Flashpoint, where he travels back in time and actually stops himself from killing Barry's mom. This allows Eobard to become a living paradox, and thus he can kill the Flash with impunity and not have to worry about causality. It's comic book logic, you just have to kind of go with it. It's good though, I promise you. Of course, there is a huge climatic battle between the forces of Atlantis and Themyscira, and skinny Superman emerges to help out the Flash. Eventually, the Flash runs into the time string and undoes the paradox. This pretty much resets the DC timeline and makes way for the new 52. Oh, also at the end, Thomas Wayne gives Barry a letter to give to Bruce. And at the end, Barry does, and we see Bruce Wayne in tears. Oh my goodness, it is so good. You gotta read it. Alright, now that we got a little bit of the history out of the way, let's check out the trailer. From the get-go, it looks like Barry is going to try to save his mom and create an alternate timeline. I say this because unlike the comic, this timeline has its own Barry Allen. In fact, the two Barrys interact. The Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne appears to know what Barry wants to do, along with the implications of what would happen to reality, and he tried to talk him out of it. But of course, we know the Flash isn't gonna do that. Enter General Zod, the stand-in for the Aquaman Wonder Woman conflict, I'm thinking. I'm guessing there are fewer metahumans. Oh, actually, he says he creates a world without metahumans. There's really nobody that can pose a threat to this Kryptonian invasion. Needless to say, no Superman either. So far, there's no word if Henry Cavill has any role in the movie. But gosh, I hope so. I'd hate to think that his last on-screen performance as Superman is in a Black Adam post-credit scene. Zod continues his quest to turn Earth into Krypton. This time, he appears to be unopposed. Now, I'm guessing that's what he's trying to do, because that's what he tried to do in Man of Steel. The Flash comes across an imprisoned Kryptonian, who in the comics is Kal-El, but in this iteration, it's his cousin Kara, played by Sasha Calle. She's clearly malnourished and alone and dark and probably needs a bath. All right, now the good part. We see the Batcave with a very, very familiar style of Batmobiles. This next scene I will describe as being something I never really thought I would see after the 1992's Batman Returns. And this is the long-eared Michael Keaton version of Batman. I would have been cool with him just delivering his iconic line, "Yeah, I'm Batman." But then we have a really killer action sequence that was pretty much breathtaking. Oh, and how can I forget the Danny Elfman score? They tried to use it in the Justice League and it sucked. But here with Michael Keaton's Batman, well, let's just say the 12-year-old boy in me screamed through the 45-year-old man I am now. And I have no idea if that makes any sense, but just go with it, please. Next, we have some more action, which looks like Affleck on a Batcycle being chased by a Hummer and some law enforcement vehicles. Pretty cool. Supergirl flying with a prone body she's carrying into the night sky. Interesting. Two Flashes that meet heel to heel with different color lightning. Supergirl uses her laser eyes to blow stuff up, and she hits Zod with a good old slobber knocker. In a blink and you miss it scene, we see a gray and blue Neil Adams style batsuit, and it looks like Batfleck is in it. Cool. Now we have Barry Allen on a snowy rooftop being surrounded by soldiers. He's not in a Flash suit, and Batman's there telling him to try not to die. What's a little weird is that Batman, and this is Keaton's Batman, is in his normal black suit in broad daylight, and I'm not sure if I've ever seen that before. I would think maybe he would be in a white Arctic style bat suit if they were in a snowy environment, but he's not. He's in all black. Maybe he could have borrowed Jaden Smith's batsuit that he wore to Kim and Kanye's wedding. Would Bruce Wayne know of Jaden Smith in this universe? I feel like I've gotten a little off track here. Cool! Supergirl escaped. The trailer rounds out with Supergirl doing a flyby of the Batwing and one of the berries taking a video. And her suit looks really good, by the way. So what are my thoughts on the trailer? Overall, I think Andy Muschietti knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to this movie. The storyline looks good, and it feels like a fairly faithful-ish adaptation of Flashpoint. And yeah, that's all well and good. Now enter Keaton, and all the old school fanboys have taken notice, especially myself. Michael Keaton's Batman is enough to get so many of the people that were calling for the cancellation of this movie to kind of question whether or not that might be the correct course of action. I am pleasantly surprised how much Batfleck seems to be in the movie. I had heard he'd be in it, but only as Bruce Wayne, but granted, that was a year ago. I mean, this movie's been filming forever, it seems like. And I gotta say, I am very, very pleased that Batfleck may get the proper send-off to his version of the Batman character. Also, I am curious who Kara is carrying in that scene. In all honesty, it looks like Kal-El, but almost like the version that was resurrected in both the Zack Snyder Justice League and the Justice League. I'm always happy to see Michael Shannon in a movie, especially as Zod. I thought he was really underrated as Superman's villain. It'll be great to see him do it once again. All in all, I think this trailer did its job, and that is drum up genuine excitement for a movie that has a very problematic history, mainly due to its star Ezra Miller. Will this be the best superhero movie ever, as James Gunn claims? Who knows? But what I do know is that both Affleck and Keaton seem to play a heavy role in it, and I'm in. Of course, those are just my opinions, and I would love to hear yours. Feel free to express yourself in the comment section, and as always, fare thee well, my friends, and take care. Cue the music.